All right, so welcome in, Jennifer. Good to have you. Ryan Tringer here, Class A Pro Recording. And so let's see. So some of the things that I have here. Oh, looking at the target too much. Okay, so what I mean by that is there was a lot of times on the course, if you would switch with me a second, where you were what we like to do is you want to get behind it and aim, right? Get to the side of it and look once, practice your swing, and then line up, and then look once, and then hit the shot. What happened? You'd sit up over the ball, and you'd keep looking like this, and then you'd miss the ball because you were so worried about what was over there. You weren't worried about what you were doing here a few times. So that's what I mean by that note. Okay, now let me see what else. What else we have here. Okay, so pace of play. I introduced you to that concept. So let me just talk about that real quick. So the pace of play, right? So it's a thing, pace of play in the golf. And with me there is helping you, obviously, to not have to worry. But as you know, on number 7, the Ranger came around and told us that we were too slow, right? And so the key to having good pace of play is you want to finish the round in 2 hours. Which, if you think about it, if there's 9 holes, right? So there's 9 holes, okay, and 2 hours is 120 minutes divided by 9. That means we have 13 minutes per hole, right? Now, and that's 4 people hitting, right? And so that's why you have to really be efficient. I coach everyone to do, do one practice swing. It's all you really need, one practice swing, and then hit. Now, sometimes your first practice swing won't be good quality, but you shouldn't let it bother you. You should still just go to hit anyway. See, some people think like they'll do like a bad practice swing and they'll miss the ground, and then they'll be like, "Oh no, I better do another one," and then they'll miss again, and then they'll do another one, and it's just like that's just making it worse. It's better if you miss the ground and you do a bad practice swing. The practice swing was to give you like a sense about your swing path, how you're using your hand, like generally what you're doing, because it's going to be a little different anyway when you get over the ball. So I recommend one practice swing. You'll usually see as I was doing, usually one practice swing, and then we get up to the ball, and then we're going to hit from there, right? Okay, now let's take a look at the other notes here that I have. So 1 second here. Okay, so that your distances, we started to learn your pitching wedge. I'll write them down. Your pitching wedge in our game, pitching wedge, I had 65 yards. Your 9-iron is 80 yards. We figured out. Your 8-iron right now is 90, right? Your 7-iron is 100, which is great. The average lady golfer in the world hits their 7-iron 100. The pro lady golfers hit their 7-iron 140. So you're right around the average lady in terms of distance. You need to have a sand wedge, though. You don't have a sand wedge. As we said, you need a sand wedge. And then you also need a putter. You don't have a putter, which is that's an important one, because every hole you play, you have to putt. And then eventually, you're going to need a driver also in your bag, because the holes, especially when you start playing a regular length course, the holes are much longer, right? Let's see. We need to figure out your short game distances. So with the short game distances, we do some call it the clock method, clock face method, short game. The clock, let's see, clock. There you go. So see this idea here? It's like having different size swings to send the ball different distances. Okay, so I do it based on body parts. A lot of times I'll say like knee to knee, hip to hip, thigh to thigh, chest to chest. We need to get your distances figured out for you to be able to score better. Also, yes, the triangle, exactly. And so then let's see, we have the aiming, right? So we talked about intermediate target, right? Picking something on the ground in line with where we're going to send our ball, right? And so an intermediate target should be right in front, And usually it's something like a piece of grass or something like that that you're trying to aim at to get aimed. And then once you pick the intermediate target, you have to do what's called parallel left golf alignment. And so remember that your feet and everything should be parallel to the target line, right? So that way when you're aiming, that's how you get aimed. Okay, let me see what else we have here. So, okay, now with the hitting, the two mistakes you made often when we were out there is either you did not stay down, it says lift up, no brush, or you weren't supinating, right? And so we need to get you to stay down and supinate. And then the other thing I circled, which means usually that's more of a problem if I circle it. The other thing I circled was the putting and chipping to get more consistent. Now, you did better on your putting as time went on, which is nice. But your chipping, we need to get those distances figured out to get your score down. So that's my follow-up from us playing.